VLR.
This show is copyright by VLR Media. All opinions of panelists and guests are their own and may not reflect the opinion of VLR Media, the host, or anyone else. Think everything sounds wrong? Hear what sounds right with Jennifer and Scott.
Well, that was a wonderful little intro there from Liz over there, the Liz Harrison Show. Good morning, everyone. This is Scott and Jen with the Sounds Right show here on Vigilant Liberty Radio. Our first show, Jen.
I'm so excited.
Isn't it crazy? I'm Scott Hounsel. That's Jennifer Van Laar, and we're joined today by wonderful producer Jess. Jess, you're awesome. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you, guys.
So, Jen, why don't you tell everyone kind of what we're going to be covering on this wonderful show that we have here?
Today we have quite a few topics, and since we're both loudmouths, I don't know that we'll get to all of them. But it's Reagan's birthday today, which we just realized, maybe a half hour ago that our first show is on Reagan's birthday, and that makes it even more exciting. Then we're going to be talking about some laws here in California that, like a lot of them, just defy logic and how they hurt the people here in California. Then one of my awesome friends, Kira Davis, is going to join us and talk about, we'll be talking about Bobby Christina Brown and some of the celebrity culture. And then we just have a few other surprises as the show goes on.
Excellent. So, yeah, when you were sitting here, we were getting ready for the show this morning, and all of a sudden, it was like this simultaneous reaction of, wait, today is Ronald Reagan's birthday. How awesome is that? First show on Reagan's birthday. Couldn't have asked for a better day.
And he started out in radio, so I don't know that I could ever be the kind of radio host or communicator that he is, but heck, it's a great thing to aspire to.
Well, president, I'm sure you could work out sometime, Jen.
I'm sure.
Okay, fantastic. So, among the first topics today, before I be so rude, Jess, how are you, my dear?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually didn't realize that it was Reagan's birthday, so thank you for letting me know that.
Well,
if anything, we're here to provide the information you need to make educated decisions.
That's for sure.
Yeah, my son has his middle name is Reagan, and his calendar has Reagan's birthday on it, so it kind of helped me out.
Cool.
Excellent. So, Jen, why don't you start us out on the first topic this morning? This is actually a pretty a topic I might get a little fired up about. But why don't you start us out this morning?
Of course, we want to hear you get fired up about a topic, but usually a lot of things I talk about are have levity, but this one does not really at all. So a few years back, the prisons in California were overcrowded, and they were under a court-ordered mandate to reduce the overcrowding. So they came up with this assembly bill that allowed, and it ended up going through the whole assembly and all of the process getting signed into law. So people that were considered nonviolent or certain crimes could have their sentences reduced or be let out of jail early. And the fear at the time was that people that make plea bargains can be charged, ultimately convicted of something that was a lesser crime, and then and get out when they shouldn't. So unfortunately, that did happen here in this last year, right here, maybe 15, 20 miles from both where Scott and I both live. This man was out of jail that shouldn't have been based on his crimes, and he ended up killing his 19-day-old daughter. So that's what's happening there. Scott, tell us a little bit about your thoughts on that. Oh, we've lost Scott. So
Yeah,
Jess.
Scott's oh, wow. That's
And
that's
I'm back.
crazy.
Sorry about that. Little technical difficulty on our it's our first show. Would it be a first show without some technical difficulties?
Nope.
So yes, well, I heard everything Jen said about this, and the thing I think that makes me most sick about this is that did I drop out again?
Nope, you're
No,
there.
you're there. You're still
Oh,
there.
okay. I was like, is that this animal would have been behind bars if it weren't for stupid liberal policies. Simple as pie. If it wasn't for the fact that they were kowtowing to unions or working behind the scenes to make everyone happy, instead of just saying, oh, you know what, we're going to do what's right or what's best for the state, we're going to, instead of doing something along those lines, they decide, you know, we're just going to do this because it makes everyone happy. And in reality, we now have a young mother whose less than 3-week-old baby was murdered by her partner, and now what? Who's responsible at this point? I mean, what do you think, Jen?
So many people are responsible. I mean, it's a horrible law, but it's going to take time to get it changed. But the community can be warned. But really, these people just need to be. They need to be behind bars when they commit a crime. And the fact that California cannot run its bloated bureaucracy well enough to be able to carry out one of its basic premises. I mean, the premise of government is not regulating our plastic grocery bags or regulating the car we drive or what day we can burn wood in our fireplaces. The basic function of government is to protect us and keep us safe, or one of their basic functions is to provide that law enforcement and keep criminals off the streets. Do that first, then do the other things.
I guess like I said, among the most frustrating things is I actually happened to work for a legislator during the time that this particular legislation was going through, and liberals were unabashed about the fact that it wasn't going to make people more safe. I mean, they literally would say, yeah, we know that some people are going to be let out and they're going to commit crimes, and that's going to be a bad thing. But what are the alternatives? And that was always kind of this cop-out excuse. I mean, the alternative was, and essentially AB 109, which is the bill that was put forth, was supposed to reduce prison populations by 40,000 in the state of California. We were like overpopulated by like 40,000 prisoners. Now, one of the things that they could have done was contract with out-of-state prison facilities, which, by the way, are cheaper than what we have in-state. But anyone over 20 or 25 years should have just been exported to another prison facility outside the state and kept there. But unfortunately, due to the thing that, like with CCPOA, the correctional officers, the correctional officers union, they didn't want to do that because they felt that was going to somehow reduce their ability, their bargaining chips at the table. Well, if we're shipping prisoners out of state, what good are we going to be? And like I said, instead of keeping people safe, which would have kept a lot of these people behind bars, they went with the easier thing to do, and that was, let's just release them. Let's put it back on the counties. Let's make the counties keep people that are non-serious, non-sexual, non-violent offenders, and then let's just keep everyone else that we or anyone else we can't keep. Let's just release. And to me, I don't understand how anyone could make the argument that is safe.
Totally agreed. I mean, Jess, did you hear anything about this story back in Florida?
I did not, but I have heard of the whole thing with releasing prisoners due to overcrowding, but you would think they wouldn't release the violent offenders and things like that, like maybe like people with maybe drug possession charges or something. I don't know, but that's ridiculous.
Well, this law says that they have to be non-serious, non-sexual, non-violent crimes, but the problem is that the law only applies to the most recent conviction. So in other words, that like if you have like assault with a deadly weapon, and then possession of drug paraphernalia and you go back to prison, you can be
Oh my
released under the crime
gosh.
of drug paraphernalia, even though you have 2 priors of.
Of violent crimes. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's asinine.
Well, but the fact is, it's so dangerous. I mean, and
Yes.
and then in addition to that, I mean, how often in our criminal justice system do people take plea deals? I mean, pretty often. And
Yeah.
oftentimes these plea deals are like if you are out and you have assault with a deadly weapon as your violent offense, and you plea out to illegal possession of a weapon or simple battery or something along those lines. You're then looking at the fact that you are now classified as a non, even though the crime you committed was violent, you weren't convicted of a violent crime. So therefore, let's just let him go.
Wow.
Now there's not to say that Matthew Warner had priors that would have led people to believe that he could have been violent. But the fact remains is that he would have been behind bars if it were not for AB 109. To me, I can't justify that. I don't understand how Jerry Brown and any other Democrat who authored, co-authored, sponsored, or otherwise worked on this bill can sleep at night, can hug their children tonight and think, you know what, I get to hug my children tonight, but poor Laura Rose, or is that how you say it? Laura Rose? She's dead because I let out someone who went in on to commit a crime. And I don't think that they do that. I could not live with myself.
I mean, it sounds harsh, but I want to send a picture of that baby to all these people that argued that it wasn't, that kind of the collateral damage argument that you were saying these liberals would make that, oh, well, yeah, sure, someone might go out and commit crimes, but overall, it'll be okay. Send them all that picture and say, oh, really? Really? It'll all be okay?
But this
is
is
not
just,
acceptable.
This is not just one crime, though. Like, this is not the only crime that there have been murders and rapes across the state that have occurred from AB 109 releasees. To me, that is unforgivable. And I'll say certain things I'll say about people who've run for statewide office, but I would have made every Democrat in statewide office live with that. I would have run articles, op-eds, I would have commercials, whatever I could have afforded to say, Jerry Brown, he signed this into law. And these people are no longer with us as a result of a law that Jerry Brown signed. Like, a vote for Jerry Brown could kill you. Let's just put it that way.
Well, that's the way that they run their ads. And for some reason, we're afraid on our side to really go there and be painted that way. But that in a heartbeat that they do that stuff all the time. Of linking Republicans or conservatives to, oh, you're going to die. They're going to poison the water and kill the children and punch the puppies. And they just go on.
And throw your grandma off a cliff.
Wait.
Yeah, throw your grandma off the cliff.
We're not supposed to punch puppies?
Shh.
We're not supposed to do that?
We're not.
Oh, dang it. Knew I was screwing up on something in life, but anyway, I think we're right about now ready to take our first break. We're going to bring Kira on in another couple of minutes, but anything else on that subject that you want to add on before we head to break?
No, we just have to find a way to change this crap and turn the state around.
Until I think if a few years ago, or I guess it was about a year ago, Assemblymember Mike Gatto's dad was murdered. And part of me was, I hate to make it sound like this, part of me was hoping that the guy that had done it was an AB 109 releasee, because there would have been no more poetic justice than for someone whose father would have been, victimized by someone that he released from prison.
And it's sad. You don't want something like that to happen to somebody.
Absolutely not.
But what's going to wake them up? I mean, you have to wonder, how bad does it have to get for them to wake up?
Excellent. Well, this is Sounds Right Radio, the Sounds Right Show with Jen and Scott, and we'll be back after a brief break.
Hi, this is John Bolton, and you're listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hoyt with America Our Way, and you can hear me right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio at 10/9 Central.